order for let's spill the tea.
Oh,
No, this is how we're starting it today. Okay.
you should definitely cut that out.
How about no?
I have to burp.
Congratulations. Have fun.
That still came through.
Yes, it did.
Because I just looked and it was on the wrong thing.
I'll censor it. Don't worry.
Hello.
Hello.
I was
What
literally...
episode is this?
I don't know.
15?
Girl,
I
I
am
don't even
terrible at
remember what
keeping
I did last week.
What did you do last week? I know what I did
the
last
Whaley
week.
House.
Yes. You did the Whaley
I was
House.
like, wait.
I did Slenderman.
Stop it. I told my parents about that. Did I tell you that I think I told you why I was so afraid? And that the reason I
Yeah.
sleep with my blanket over my head now is because when I was a kid, I thought he was going to kill me.
Well,
I didn't die yet, so.
exactly. Well, all right. Here's the part where we just complain about our lives. About stupid shit that like we
Stop.
shouldn't need to complain about.
Oh,
but...
I do have something to complain about.
Uh-oh. What
So,
is it?
okay, so Paul got a portable PC. It's on the bed. But it has like it's gaming. So like I can play The Sims and put mods and stuff.
Yeah.
I was trying to play The Sims. And you know how I like making people in my life in The Sims?
Wait, is that why? Because you were playing The Sims, so you just randomly texted me like, let's make a house of a ton of like serial killers.
Yeah.
And we'll like
But-
live stream it.
I was making people in The Sims.
Mhm.
So I made Paul no problem, his mom, his dad, his brother, because I like to play real life.
Yeah. You freaking psychopath.
So then I wanted to make myself. And you know how like when you go into the like gallery, you have the option to turn off custom content?
Yeah.
So you can I was doing that and custom content was still coming through. So I was getting catfished for an hour and a half by Sims trying to find one that looked good
Oh.
without, because it would say no custom content. It wouldn't say that it had a skin, because like custom content skins and everything. It wouldn't say it had a skin. It wouldn't even look like it had a skin. So I was like, oh, this looks like a pretty base game sim. And I would put it into create a sim, and it would be a total fucking alien with big buggy eyes and a jaw that's like the size of a toothpick.
Yeah, sounds
And I did that for an hour and a half. I got so mad. I literally rage quit twice.
I believe it.
I literally rage quit.
I believe it. I haven't played The Sims in a hot minute. I probably will soon at some point.
I was having a moment, but I'm good now.
Okay, well, are you drinking any tea? You said you were gonna go make some.
I have vanilla chai.
Mmm.
I look like a pasty white ghost right now.
You always do.
Why is my hair still red?
It's your lighting, dumbass.
It comes up in pictures too.
It's the lighting. And
I
you do have red undertones in your hair.
dyed my hair red 4 years ago.
Yeah, and you fucked up your chemistry that way. I don't know. Like
That hair is cut out of my head by now.
it's seeped into your scalp, and now it just always comes out.
Apparently, as a kid, I had like strawberry blonde hair, so my hair might have already had like red undertones. But it got worse after I dyed my hair. And now it just won't go away. I tried to dye my hair purple after it, and it looked red.
I believe it.
I was having a moment. Okay, anyway, do you have tea?
Are you talking about my physical tea or just tea in general?
Both.
Okay. Well, yesterday, Haley has been listening to our episodes.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm scared.
It's Kaylee.
Yeah, I don't know Kaylee like that.
She's our like #1 supporter now. Not #1 actually. I don't know. She's in the top 3 supporters.
I'm gonna cry.
But
Hi, Kaylee, but don't judge me, please.
well, she and I went to Revolving Sushi yesterday. And remember that Kaylee is Jackson's sister. All right. So like, yeah, I'm gonna go on a lunch date with my boyfriend's sister. Who cares? So like, we sit down, and this dude has both of our locations, so he's probably like stalking it to make sure like we don't die. Because he's like, oh shit, these two in a car together.
They're gonna
so like we
get in
sit
an
down.
accident.
Right. So we pull our first plates from the belt, and all of a sudden I just get a text being like, don't let my idiot sister pay. And he sends me $100. I'm just like, bitch, what? So Jackson just paid for my lunch date yesterday.
Paul.
Yeah, yell at him.
Paul, can you send me $100 to go on a lunch date?
Specifically with his brother.
Oh,
it has to be with a
brother.
sibling.
Can you give me $100 to go on a lunch date with Steven?
By the way, Paul is here, guys.
Yeah,
he didn't preface
said
that.
no. He said no. Not that I would want to go on a lunch date with his brother.
But, like, here's the thing, though. Just, like, over the weekend, because I was with Jackson over the weekend, I was like, hey, I'm never going to ask you for money unless it's, like, an emergency, or it's like, hey, I can't make a trip out to, like, go to the bank. Can you just, like, spot me and I'll pay you back kind of thing?
Yeah.
I literally said, we agreed, like, okay, that's not going to happen. Like, and then this bitch just sends me money, and I'm like, okay.
He's a provider. He's a
bro.
provider. I thought you were gonna say that Kaylee said something about the podcast.
Oh, she did in the car ride. She was like, yeah, I've been listening. And then I jokingly said, like, oh, do you want to be like our first guest? And she was like, but I don't know what we would talk about. And I'm like, bitch, literally fucking anything.
Talk about the first time I met you and I made you check to make sure I didn't have a tick bite on my head. Literally, within 2 seconds of meeting this girl, I was like, can you make sure I don't have a tick bite on my head?
Right.
And she was like, yeah, okay.
She's a girly girl. Like, she supports us. Oh, by the way, I don't have Dr. Pepper today. We have not been sponsored yet. Corey has Dr. Pepper Tic Tacs. All right, you're keeping up so we can get that sponsorship.
Dr. Pepper.
Are they good?
They taste like Dr. Pepper.
Damn. Because, like, there's a lot of Dr. Pepper, like, flavored things that just came out
The
recently.
Dr. Pepper Peeps taste like Dr. Pepper, too.
I want to try the Dr. Pepper Dippin' Dots.
I haven't had those, but I would love.
Honestly, it sounds like they fucking slap. Because, like,
And
don't get me wrong, Dr. Pepper and, like, some vanilla ice cream, like, making a float with that, delicious.
Dr. Pepper. Anything.
Dr. Pepper, are you going to sponsor us yet?
I'm going to email Dr. Pepper.
I give you full permission.
I'm going to be like, hey, can you also pay for my tuition?
But that's the sponsorship just gives us money. So, like, you would go towards your tuition. They wouldn't pay outright for your tuition. Unless you got a scholarship. Scholarships and sponsorships are two different things, Corey.
I know. I was eating the Tic Tac, and I've eaten like half the pack already. And
you're not gonna say. I see you on Friday. You're not gonna save any for me.
There's another pack.
There fucking better be, because I'm gonna take it.
No, you're not.
Maybe. We'll see.
You can have some.
Oh, I guess that's the other tea. I actually get to see you in person on Friday.
It's been like since the Mantis Man.
Oh my god, since episode 1, we have not seen each other in person. Because we were preparing for Paul to get shipped off.
Yeah. And
there he is on your bed.
I'm glad. But
Paul
this
is going to involuntarily be on the TikTok.
Paul. Hi. I love you.
Love you.
God, Jackson does the same exact bullshit. Like,
Could you hear him?
yeah. Love you too.
They don't care.
No.
Boys don't care.
No, I also my ankle has been the one that I had surgery on has been acting up again. So I had to put an ankle brace on. That's basically what it feels like my ankle is doing. Um, and I'm not gonna show you because like that's just what the fuck. Anyway, I'm not
it's
giving out free
XO.
content like that. Is it what?
It's XO. No, 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 no.
I don't pay attention enough.
What is that? Growl? Ew, 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 ew.
XO, do you want to sponsor us? I guess like.
Backgun? Backgun.
I'm gonna sit your ass back down so I can finish what I was saying. Anyway, I said I'm not gonna show you the ankle brace and the situation because that's free content and
You can
that
sell that for money.
I was gonna say subscribe. We gotta get like a subscription like for like be like okay subscribe to like get the
A Patreon.
Oh my god, imagine. Anyway,
If you subscribe to our Patreon, you can get a picture of Kelly's
we do not have
ankle
a
brace.
Patreon. We do not have a Patreon. And I guess my final tea of the week is TikTok is being mean to us. And in the last episode, we said what we expected the username to be. But there was a problem with changing the username because someone had the exact username we were going to use. So I now have to go in and edit that.
I tried to change it.
Yes, and that's the other thing. We have to wait a whole month.
It accepted the change, and it showed up at first, and then it went back, and now I can't change it. But I didn't touch it. And I was like, what do you mean you accepted it, and then it went away?
Yes. So temporarily for our TikTok until it is officially done and the correct username, please just use our link tree to access our TikTok, or if you just find us randomly. Because I don't want to deal with that shit. Anyway, you ready for true crime?
No. Yes.
Well, no one dies in this one.
That's poopy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want a serial killer instead? Like,
no, it's fine. We can take a break because everybody dies in my stories. That's kind
There
of how
you
they
go.
become a ghost.
Exactly. So there's always death in the episodes. Unless we talk about like aliens.
But then there's like probing, so
No,
the aliens in The Sims 4.
Stop.
Where the men come back pregnant. I've never had so many Sims get abducted by aliens than I do in my real life save file for my game right now. Like my dad has gotten abducted like 5 times.
I also have to am I in The Sims? Or am I just neglected?
No, you're in there.
Oh god, how many times did I get abducted?
Shay's entire family is in The Sims 4, like her husband and her children.
So it's probably just me out of my family, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I didn't make anyone else.
Damn, I give you permission to make Jackson.
Yeah, I didn't get there yet.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Before you guys were even dating. Like,
oh shit. Okay.
This is like old.
Damn. Anyway.
I have children.
Thank God not in real life yet.
Oh, no. And it's gonna stay that way. Anyway, true crime.
Okay. So today we are talking about a famous family. Not in that sense. Like they're actually like famous people and a true crime thing happened to them.
Okay.
Not like they committed the crimes, the entire family. No, it's not the Manson family.
Okay.
Maybe in another episode.
Proceed.
So today, this is what I was going to do last week, but then I did the Slenderman story and you still hate me for that. Today we're doing the Frank Sinatra Jr. kidnapping.
I'm dead? Frank Sinatra?
Yeah. Frank Sinatra. The Sinatra family.
Icons.
So This is words. I was gonna say something, now I can't remember. Anyway, let's just start the story. I was gonna preface something and I don't even remember what. Oh, dark and spooky.
Yay.
So, on December 8th, 1963, Frank Sinatra would go through one of the biggest traumas of being a parent. So, who is our victim? Frank Sinatra Jr. He was born January 10th, 1944 in Jersey City.
That's where you're from. He doesn't care.
No, he does not care. He can't even hear it.
No.
So Junior is the second child and only son to Frank Sinatra and Nancy Barbado. He did follow in the footsteps of his father to work as a jazz and big band singer, songwriter, and conductor. So
Damn.
he was bringing in those big bucks. His older sister Nancy was a singer and actress, and his younger sister Tina was a TV producer. So this entire family worked in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, very famous.
Very famous family. So, how did this crime happen? For many weeks, 23-year-old former high school classmates from Los Angeles, Barry Keenan and Joe Amster, had been following a 19-year-old singer from city to city. And who was this singer? Frank Sinatra Jr.
Poopy.
So the plan was to capture him and demand a large ransom to his father. Seems simple enough.
Yeah.
No intricate details like, we're going to torture him. No. None of that. So the duo actually, they had a time frame of convenience in their heads.
Okay.
They decided to act on their plan on December 8th of 63, which was only days after the Kennedy assassination.
I was just going to say that, JFK.
Yes. So with all that, everyone is focused on the Kennedy family.
Yeah.
So they were just like, okay, you know what? Police are distracted. Everyone's distracted. Let's do this thing. So Frank Sinatra Jr. was performing at Harris Club Lodge in Lake Tahoe, and around 9 p.m., as he was resting in his dressing room with a friend, Keenan knocked on the door pretending to be a delivery man.
Simple enough.
Right? But what did they order? Why are you getting a delivery to your dressing room? What did you order? There was not DoorDash in the 60s.
Maybe there was. Maybe it was like cocaine DoorDash.
Stop! Coke Dash. Anyway, the duo entered the room, tied his friend John Foss up with tape and blindfold, and they blindfolded Frank Sinatra Jr. and threw them in their car. Thankfully, his friend was able to quickly free himself after they left to notify authorities. This sounds a lot like Croup Diamond, where they were just like all tied up and just like, okay, we gotta wait.
We just sit here now.
We gotta sit and wait. So many roadblocks were placed, but the duo were stopped by police. Yet they bluffed their way through it and evaded arrest to go to their hideout in Los Angeles. Like, literally, they were stopped by cops, and they were like,
why were they stopped here, by cops?
Because Frank Sinatra Jr. had gone missing.
Oh, okay.
So they were trying to find, like...
And they just somehow managed to get away?
Exactly! Like, what? So, by 9:40, the FBI and Reno were on the case, because they were like, all right, you know what? Once it crosses state lines, it goes to the FBI.
Yeah.
So agents met with his parents since they believed the motive would be money and would be contacting Sinatra for the ransom. As we know, that's exactly what was going to happen. They actually told him to pay the ransom and they would follow the money to find the kidnappers.
Okay, smart.
Exactly. It's better than them, like, him being like, oh, I don't have them. Like, everyone knows Sinatra would have that freaking.
Yeah, everybody knows you got the money for that, bro.
Exactly. Like, they were like, you know what? Let's do this the easiest yet smartest way and safest way. Because in most scenarios, they keep them alive.
Yeah.
And then once they're paid, they let them go. That is most scenarios, not every scenario, sadly. So the next day, Keenan would contact the third conspirator, John Irwin. So his role was to be the ransom contact. Basically, like, he would pick up the money. So we contacted Sinatra and had him wait for further instructions. She was like, hey, we have your child, confirming that. Yes, he's alive. Now just wait until I tell you what to do. Goodbye.
That's gotta be the most horrifying thing, like, as a parent.
I know. Like, you're just like, I can't sit and wait. I need to do something.
But there's nothing you can do.
Exactly. So remember that this is the 60s, so money is very different nowadays. So, of course, I will give you a money conversion. The ransom demand would be $240,000.
Okay.
Nowadays, do you want to guess?
$1,005,000.
Not too far off. It's about 2.5 million.
I was $1 million off.
You know what? That's still not that bad. You were one digit off. The exact conversion is $2,526,299.13. All of the money was photographed by the FBI so they could keep the serial numbers, and they proceeded to make the drop. The drop location was in a weird spot, in my opinion, but it was hideable. It was in between two school buses in Sepulveda, California, on the early morning of December 11th.
Okay, interesting.
So, Irwin started to feel the pressure. While Keenan and Amster went for the cash, he freed Frank Sinatra Jr. He let him go before they even confirmed they had the money.
Oh, perfect.
Because he was getting anxious. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to deal with that.
Me either.
So, Sinatra Jr. was found walking in a Bel Air neighborhood around 3 a.m. by a private security guard. In my opinion, what they did was a little fucked up. But to avoid the press, they placed him in the trunk of the guard's patrol car to take him to his mother's home.
Okay, like, I can understand wanting to hide.
But why in the trunk?
In the trunk, that's what people...
He was just
probably
kidnapped.
felt like he was... I was gonna say, he probably felt like he was getting kidnapped again.
Like, at least put him in the backseat and throw, like, a blanket over him.
Yeah,
that way he can move around.
Smarter. Yeah.
So, fun fact, Sinatra actually offered them $1 million for the safe return of his son. But the kidnappers declined the extra money.
Interesting.
Like, they were like, what? Why would you,
why would you deny that?
That is over 4 times the amount you asked for. Like,
I would have been like, yeah, give it to me now.
Right? So, Frank Sinatra Jr. gave as much information as he could about his kidnappers and the location where he was held. FBI searched said house and found fingerprints on a note to Amster from Keenan and the tape that was used to tie up Foss with another fingerprint. So not a lot of evidence found, but fingerprint identification. Your fingerprints are unique to you. Even if you are an identical twin, you have separate fingerprints.
Yeah. They're gonna find you.
They're gonna find you anyway. So, Irwin was really feeling the heat. Like, he went to someone that he trusted, which was his brother, and spilled the beans.
Oh, perfect.
Told him everything. And his brother was like, Okay, I want you to guess. Was his brother on the police's side, like the cop side, or his brother's side?
I want to say that his brother was like worse than him and was like, yeah, we gotta do this now to make sure you don't get caught.
Well, you are incorrect. His brother immediately called the police.
Oh, Pope. I wanted the brother to be cool.
Well, I
wanted
mean,
the brother to be a
like,
cool man.
he did what he did his the due justice. Like, but soon after they were all arrested and the money was recovered. So the kidnapper's defense attorney attempted to claim that Frank Sinatra Jr. actually arranged the kidnapping himself for
What?
publicity.
What? I'm dead.
Of course, the jury wouldn't buy it because that is a very cheap tactic to use when it involves a celebrity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And why would he like do that to himself when he already has
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't
like
need
a famous
publicity.
name. He doesn't need it. So all three men were convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Bless you.
Thanks.
Through appeals, they actually ended up serving less time. So in the end, they were given parole.
I mean, they didn't kill anyone.
At least. So Amster and Irwin only served 3.5 years, while Keenan, who was the main conspirator, served 4.5 years. So,
all right.
For the rest of Sinatra Sr.'s life, he always would carry 10 dimes in his pocket since he was afraid of not having enough coins in situations where it was like, how do I explain it? Basically, he was like, I always want to have the money on me in case a situation arises.
Yeah.
And he was actually buried with 10 dimes in his pocket.
Oh. Frank Sinatra.
So Sinatra Jr. never liked discussing the kidnapping that happened to him, but continued. Obviously. He still continued his music career. He never became as big as his father, but he still never stopped. That was never his goal to be like better than his father. He just did what he enjoyed and what he knew he could do.
Yeah.
So our perpetrators went on to live normal lives afterwards. Keenan became a real estate developer in Texas. Amster became a stunt double in Hollywood. And Irwin basically actually like disappeared from the public eye, so we don't really know what he's doing now.
Well, bro was having a mental breakdown.
He really was.
Like I would disappear too.
Not only 10 years ago. It would have been nice to do this on the day he died, but for his 10-year death anniversary. Frank Sinatra Jr. died March 16th, 2016 of cardiac arrest while on tour in Daytona Beach, Florida at the age of 72. So he still lived a very fruitful life with he literally was making music till the day he died. But yeah, that's what happened to Frank Sinatra Jr. Like,
bro's traumatized for life now.
Bro has trauma. Well,
like me.
Not like anymore, but well, we're all traumatized here. But
we don't have as much trauma as that.
At least he's not traumatized anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, if whoever believes in like an afterlife kind of situation, I'm sure he's still making music and enjoying all of it. And now he's back with he's probably making music with his father now.
Stop. Don't even make me cry. Don't make me cry right now.
No, don't worry. Next week we'll get into the bloody gore. This was a really short one. Next week's going to be a very long one.
Poop.
Too bad. Extra long episode. Girl, I might be talking for an hour next week. I'm warning you.
Okay, so nice heads up to do a shorter one.
Or we make an extra long episode and this is a road trip episode. Like, You gonna be in the
There's
car
no
for like
reason.
3 hours?
There's no reason to have a 3-hour long episode. For no reason. Maybe on, like, our birthdays.
Oh, Halloween, that one's gonna be too fucking long. Like,
That one's gonna be really, really long.
is Paul ready for 3 hours next week?
Probably not. Honestly.
Is
I think
he
he might be
asleep?
asleep. I was just gonna... Paul, are you asleep?
Oh my god. Bitch fell asleep. Oh, he's out. Smack him.
Oh.
I'm
He's out. He's out.
just gonna like zoom in on him for a TikTok and just be like, bitch is still back there asleep. He's gonna like hear you talking about whatever it is you're talking about today, and he's just gonna end up having a nightmare.
It's not that bad.
Did
We
you
both
do?
have decent stories.
I meant you're gonna talk about Ghost.
Yeah.
Wait,
But
is it
mine-
Ghost this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This tea is mid.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I have like 3 other drinks over here.
Are we ready for
I came
my tea?
prepared. Am I?
Are you?
I don't know, bro. Just do it.
Okay. So, this week we're going to a very famous haunted place in America. If you'd love to take a guess.
Okay, there's a few. This is a haunted like house or land.
So we're doing a haunted house, but it's within a larger area that's haunted. So like we're focusing on one part of it, but the big area is.
You're not doing the Winchester Mystery House, are you? Because I feel like that's
No.
a whole another thing. Would it be a house I know? Like you're gonna say it and I'll know, but
I don't know, but you will know where it's at.
okay. Is it in Salem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're in Salem, but we're not talking about Salem like as a whole.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet. That would be
But-
like a whole like 3-parter.
Hey, you
That
know
would
what?
be-
You haven't done a multi-parter yet.
I know that's just because that's the stories I'm picking, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm not
No.
being strategic. I'm just like I want to do this, so now I'm doing
Mhm.
it.
No, that's so fair.
But we're focusing on one specific house that's called the Joshua Ward House.
Oh.
Do you know that house?
It sounds familiar. I probably heard it on another podcast, honestly.
Maybe.
Because I like to listen, like to get story ideas as well. Like, I'm always gonna say my favorite true crime paranormal podcast, and that's why we drink. We love Em and Christine.
I listen to Morbid.
Morbid's a good one.
I listen to Morbid.
Wine and Crime, they're all so good. But like, I'm not caught up to their like most recent episode yet.
Yeah.
But like, I was listening and I had just gotten back from Cheesecake Factory of all places. And I was like, I didn't eat any cheesecake. And this kind of listening to the episode made me feel a little better that I didn't buy any cheesecake because it was literally called the Cheesecake Murder.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what that means.
Oh, it's on my list to cover. It's not listed as that. So you won't know.
Oh, perfect. That's amazing. Why'd you
But-
wiggle your eyebrows at me?
Did I actually?
Yeah.
I didn't try.
You were like, I can't even wiggle my eyebrows.
I can't normally. So,
How?
but this is so going on the fucking TikTok, Corey. I can't.
How do you wiggle your eyebrows?
Can someone please teach Corey how to wiggle her eyebrows?
I can raise one. I can do the smolder.
All right, Flynn Rider.
Okay. Anyway.
No. But yeah, I definitely probably heard that one on another podcast. I just could not tell you what this house is. It's probably some guy that was like terrible to witches or suspected witches.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back a couple centuries.
All right, cool. 1600s. Let's go.
Yay. So obviously, I'd assume that like literally basically everybody knows that in the decades leading up to like the 1600s, that Salem was not what it is today.
Oh,
like
God.
right, like today it's like a little quaint little historic town, but like back then it was like the most anxious Puritan society you could ever like
Oh yeah.
imagine. Like it was
Well,
so
'cause, like, it was the Northeast colonies. So, like, and was it? That was like the Pilgrims, right?
yeah.
So, yeah, it was definitely like very not how it is now.
Yeah. So, it held a lot of not so healthy beliefs at the time, which included the strict Puritan beliefs that governed their daily life. There was a lot of political instability with the loss of the Massachusetts Bay Colony Charter in 1684. There was ongoing conflicts with Native American groups about land. And there was a lot of economic rivalry with tensions between Salem town, which was like commercialized, and Salem village, which was like the crops and like the town that they were like living in.
Yeah.
So obviously, all these little pressures created a climate where a lot of suspicion and fear escalated very easily, which is what led to the Salem witch trials. So this property itself is largely tied to a single important man in the trials named George Corwin. So Corwin was appointed High Sheriff of Essex County in 1692. He was young, so he was like around his mid-20s, but he was the most like authoritative person in Salem. So he was only in his mid-20s, but he held power over everybody.
Damn, could never be us.
Dangerous for a 20-year-old man. Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, he ended up responsible for arresting the accused witches, guarding prisoners, carrying out executions, seizing property from the accused, and collecting fees from the accused, which he often did through extortion.
The fuck? That's so fucked up.
Yeah. So the house Corwin lived in itself is actually not as known as history would like. So it doesn't even have a complete architectural record that survives in the current like time.
Damn.
But the house was likely like a typical Puritan timber frame house, you know, very, very small. But the house itself was located in a central prominent area of Salem town, which was positioned near key roads and the waterfront, which was easy for the trials because, you know, one of the ways they checked if you were a witch was dunking you under the water.
Which is so fucking stupid. Like, if you drown, you're not a witch, but if you float back up, you are.
You're dead either way. Why does it matter? Like, wow, I died either a witch or not a witch, but I still died. But it made it easy for him to participate in the trials. So he was positioned between the town's commercial and the civil areas. So he was basically like the little midpoint. He was near where the accused individuals were processed and moved, so there was a nearby little jail. Like, it was like not the jails that you know of today, but it was that time's jail. So the town had strategically placed it for someone in Corwin's role. So it was meant for the sheriff. Like, the town made it for whoever was appointed sheriff. It wasn't custom made for him. it was made so that they could easily access like both parts of Salem.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we know about the structure of the house. That's literally it.
Damn. Okay.
Is the location.
That's not a lot.
So, yeah. So, as for Corwin himself, we know that he lived on the site during the trials,
Mm-hmm.
and he played a direct role in the imprisonment and punishment of the accused. So, we are less certain for this part, but a lot of historians and people highly believe he also held interrogations inside the
Oh, I
house.
believe it.
Accused witches were temporarily held on the property, and executions were directly ordered from the property.
Sounds
So
about
he was
right.
like making these decisions
Mm-hmm.
in his home. But there's no historical legal record.
Got it.
But a lot of historians that like research that are like, this homie had to have been like doing that in his house because of this. So they can imply, like other parts of history imply it
Mhm.
happened, but there's no legal history for it.
Gotcha.
So just putting that out there.
Mm-hmm.
So during the trials, Corwin was able to extort the rather simple legal system at the time, because it was very simple.
Mhm.
There was literally no one to stop him because he was the sheriff. He was the highest one.
Yeah.
There
He was the
literally
boss
no one to
man.
stop him. So during the trials, he participated and carried out things such as seizing land, livestock, household goods, and valuables, even before convictions. So he was doing this before they were even like sentenced,
Ugh.
right? This would often leave the families of the accused destitute. So they literally had nothing. And in some cases, the property was not returned even after accusations were dismissed. So he would just keep it. Corwin personally benefited in most of these instances, so either directly or through fees and control of the seized goods. So he had control of everything he took. If he took money, it went straight into his pocket.
Of
Like
course.
he was
The
so
patriarchy,
corrupt.
man.
Yeah. Corrupt. I promise this matters, okay?
I have total faith in you. Don't worry.
So Corwin looked over the jails in the area where conditions were harsh. So Corwin played a role in enforcing or allowing them to have prisoners required to pay for their own food, chains, and lodging.
But you took away all their money.
Yeah, but they had to pay for it.
So how? What? They have no money now. What?
Yeah. Many
The
people
logic
were kept
does not logic.
there, but that was the point. He didn't want them to have
yeah.
food.
He wanted them to just die.
So many of the prisoners were kept in irons, so like the chains, for very long periods of time to the point their like wrists got like deformed.
Uh-huh.
People were often unable to pay their accumulated debt even after they were released, which caused Corwin to accrue their debts in another way. So he would take other assets
Mm-hmm.
when they couldn't pay their debt, so it would leave them even more in the ground.
Damn. We all broke.
So this is a bad person, okay? This is
Yes.
a really bad man.
Yeah. Definitely.
So Corwin's participation went past the jail as sheriff because he was also responsible for death sentences. He oversaw the hanging of 19 people at Gallows Hill, and he ensured that the executions were conducted as ordered by the court. So he had direct influence on these executions. He was like watching them happen, and he was like, this is how it has to happen, setting the things up, participating in the actual like execution. His hands were bloody.
So
Metaphorically
his
bloody.
hands were stained red.
Like, yeah. So he didn't decide the guilt or innocence, but he made the punishments a reality, which I would argue is worse. Like, I would argue being the person that makes it happen is worse than being like, yeah, here's your sentence. But One of the most infamous deaths involving Corwin was the death of Giles Corey. So Corey refused to enter a plea in court. Under English law, this meant he could not be tried, so he did not get a trial. Despite not being able to be tried, he was sentenced to punishment by peine forte à dore, which was the pressing with heavy stones.
What?
Yeah, you would get stones put on you, and you would just get pressed with them.
I fear that is worse than getting stoned.
Yeah.
Because the pressure doesn't go away.
Yeah. The original sentence was not death, it was just punishment. But Corey was crushed to death over several days while Corwin oversaw the punishment. Corey's refusal to plead was likely an attempt to prevent Corwin from seizing his estate, which highlighted how feared this man was. Like, people would literally forfeit their right to be, like, tried so that this man couldn't take their assets because they were more afraid of leaving their family with nothing than dying.
I can't imagine.
Corwin also charged fees for removing chains in jail, getting better treatment in jail. You had to pay to get better treatment.
Of fucking course, you gotta pay for fucking everything.
You had to pay to get released after your acquittal.
This man was a tyrant.
Yeah. So after the trials ended, the public opinion obviously turned, because during the trials, people were like, oh my gosh, he's doing God's work by executing all these accused witches. But then after, everybody was like, you're low-key a piece of shit. And he ended up being widely disliked and distrusted. He faced accusations of corruption and abuse of power, which were true. Okay, true.
Yeah.
But he eventually died very suddenly in 1696 at the age of about 30.
I wonder why.
So there's a legend that says that Giles Corey cursed him before his death, and Corwin's family supposedly experienced misfortune afterwards, which led to his young death. So people believe that Giles Corey cursed Corwin before he died, and his entire family suffered for it.
Good.
Yeah. Obviously, that's more of a folklore than a fact, but I would love to believe that this piece of shit got
exactly. Cursed. He just got cursed.
Corwin was buried in what is now the Broad Street Cemetery, but his body was moved later to an undisclosed location because they feared grave desecration due to the anger over his actions. So his body was disturbed because they didn't have like great like caskets back then. So his body was just put in the dirt. His final resting place was disturbed, which never ever a good
thing.
So he was disturbed after death. After his death, the property passed through different hands with not really much going on. And then it fell into disrepair. It was rebuilt in certain areas before being demolished in the 1780s. So now the house is gone, but there's a lot of bloodshed and terrible energy that was left on the land that cannot be demolished, even if the house is. So now the land is just empty with a bunch of awful energy.
Great. Love it.
Yeah. Then you have a man named Joshua Ward. He's like, I'm going to build my house on this plot of land right after the American Revolutionary War.
Oh, God.
So this was like 1784. This man was like, I'm going to build my house here. So around this time, Salem's merchants were re-entering the global trade, after the war. There was a new surge of wealth and optimism because they just won the war, and elite families wanted homes that reflected the new American identity. So they wanted to get away from the British colonial dependence. Joshua Ward was one of these people that were part of the rising post-war merchant class. His fortune came largely from the Caribbean trade, rum distillation, and private enterprise. So he was very wealthy.
He was making those big bucks.
Yeah. So he chose the location for basically the same reasons that Corwin was given the house. So the land was very close to the South River, which is where his ships docked for the rum and all that stuff. It was near various warehouses, distilleries, and trade routes, and it was in Salem's commercial core. So this was what he needed for his money making. Don't really know why I put this in here, but the house was made of brick, which was very odd for the time. You know,
interesting.
Very wealthy. Right after
Fun
the
fact.
American Revolution. Yeah, right after the American Revolutionary War, people were still building their houses out of wood.
Yeah.
But brick was more expensive, more durable, more fire resistant. So he chose this brick to signal his status and permanence.
He
So
wanted to
he's
be like,
got-
guys, I'm rich.
So he's got an ego, just like Corwin.
Oh, yeah.
Just a different kind of ego. So it was a 3-story house. The ground floor had formal receiving rooms and business-related spaces. So he literally had his business in his home. The second
Damn.
floor was the family living spaces. And the third floor was where the bedrooms and the servant areas were. He had servants.
Well, yeah, sounds about right if you were wealthy during that time.
Yeah. This is when the hauntings began. So hauntings began shortly after Ward moved in after the construction. So just like the Whaley house, how it didn't start in modern times, it started back in like centuries ago. Joshua Ward was experiencing hauntings all the way back then.
Damn.
So obviously I went into detail about Corwin and the Salem witch trials because, as you can assume, nearly every haunting is tied to the traces of Corwin. So Corwin represents obviously that unresolved guilt, you know, abuse of authority, suffering without closure, all very tied to spiritual activity, and his grave got disturbed.
Yeah.
So his spirit is not at rest. Like, his spirit cannot go back to rest.
Oh, definitely not.
He would have to have another burial, like another proper burial for his spirit to go back to
Honestly.
rest. And
Which
they're not
I don't
gonna
think
do it.
anyone's going to do. No.
No. So now his spirit is just there. But
Alrighty.
obviously, the most reported ghost is a dark, imposing figure often described as wearing black clothing or a cloak, stern or expressionless, and appearing suddenly in rooms or hallways. He is a very oppressive presence, causing negative feelings within visitors, and this figure is widely believed to be Corwin himself because his spirit never rested.
Okay.
So the reported patterns are him standing silently, and then he vanishes. He doesn't try and interact with anyone. He appears near the staircases or the doorways, and occasionally is described as watching the people. Like, he will follow them through the house.
He sounds
like-
antisocial.
Yeah, he's just following them through the house, not trying to get their attention or anything,
Honestly.
but he's just following, observing. Apparently, when people see him, they feel like they're gonna vomit.
Alrighty.
I would feel like I'm gonna vomit, you know? So, Corwin is obviously the central figure. Many believe his victims followed him, even in death. So, the most commonly associated spirits are Giles Corey, Rebecca Nurse, and Bridget Bishop. So,
I've heard about Bishop, definitely.
Yeah. So Rebecca Nurse was accused of witchcraft by Ann Putnam Jr. and was executed as a witch despite the town rallying against her. So everybody, against the fact that she was a witch. Everybody believed she was innocent. And then Bridget Bishop was accused of witchcraft by Ann Putnam Jr. and Abigail Williams, ultimately leading her to be the first person executed during the Salem witch trials of 1692. So surrounding these 3 victims, the reported phenomena are multiple shadow figures appearing all at once. So they work as a trio Don't know why they work as a trio. Whispering
Teamwork.
voices. Apparently, they're like, fuck you, Corwin. We're gonna
Literally.
battle against your little stupid ass wandering bitch.
Honestly.
And we're gonna show up as a little trio and make the guests feel better. But they hear whispering voices or faint cries, sudden emotional shifts such as sadness, fear, or anger that they cannot explain. And then some accounts claim that the spirits cluster in certain rooms. So, like, you'll never see them in certain rooms. You'll only see them in a couple of them. Like, they avoid parts altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And then guests and staff have reported consistent physical experiences. So common reports are sudden cold spots in specific areas, feeling watched when you're alone, unexplained drafts despite everything being cleanly sealed, and then objects subtly moving or being misplaced.
Ew.
And then these notable locations include the staircases, the upper floors, and the hallways rather than inside rooms. So you see you see apparitions in rooms, but then the actual activity happens outside of them.
Got it.
And then possible explanations for our skeptics are that old building airflow and insulation is not great. So,
well, yeah,
you know, it gets cold in there. And then people expect something eerie, so they get it. You know, the idea of suggestibility.
Yeah.
There's auditory phenomena, which is also rather common. And then the common reports include footsteps when no one is present, doors opening or closing, faint voices or murmurs, movement in empty rooms. And then some patterns of the sounds are they often occur late at night when no one is awake. They don't seem to be tied to any specific individuals, implying that every single spirit residing here, you know, does these things.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much energy that apparently they can all manifest in these ways.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they repeat in similar ways, like they're following a life path. That's more so tied to Corwin's spirit being like an echo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I think Corwin is an echo.
I don't think so.
I think he's just a piece of shit that follows people.
Probably.
Like
he's like the guy that stands in the corner at parties because none of his friends are there, but he just wanted to be there for the vibes.
He thought he was going to be the life of the party, but then no one wanted to pay attention to him. Like he walked in there, he thought everybody was going to be like, hey, Corwin, what's up? And then no one even looked at him, so he got pouty and went in the corner.
Honestly.
That's basically him. So people often feel their emotions go crazy, or they feel like their emotions aren't their own when they visit the home. So people report sudden anxiety or dread, oppressive or heavy atmosphere, and an uneasiness in specific rooms or corridors. This matters a little bit because it's kind of the same sensations that like the people that were executed would have felt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I would feel an intense sense of dread if I was about to get executed because I was accused of being a witch. Like I would feel a little uneasy about that.
Oh, definitely.
People have apparently literally thrown up from how like uneasy they get here. So like it's not like a small amount of like uneasiness. Like people get physically like nauseous. Even skeptical visitors when they go to the house report that there's a different feeling inside the house that they can't even explain.
I can't explain it. I don't know any of this stuff.
So, I haven't touched on what the house has been throughout history, but I have talked about like staff and everything. So it has been a hotel for some time. So during its time as a hotel, the staff reported multiple guest disturbances, such as unexplained room disturbances. So people would wake up in the middle of the night with things being moved or like TVs turning on. Um, Guests check out early because they get so uncomfortable with like an unseen sensation.
Mm-hmm.
And they had repeated reports tied to the same rooms. So like
Lovely.
some rooms have nothing and some rooms are just like flooding with like
Love it.
energy. So the basement of the home is its own level of paranormal activity. So the basement itself sits closest to the original ground used during Corwin's time. So that's why people believe that it has the strongest paranormal activity. And then the activity reported is an intense dread or panic upon entering, sudden drops in temperature, but you're in a basement, so it's colder.
Yeah.
Equipment malfunctions during investigations, technological disturbances like fire alarms going off when people enter, or phone batteries draining immediately upon entering, even if they were previously fully charged.
Hmm.
So, some paranormal theories suggest that trauma from the trials is imprinted into the space,
Makes
obviously,
sense.
and the basement acts as a kind of focal point for that energy because it is the closest to where the actual blood was shed.
Yeah. That tracks.
So, yeah, it may not seem like there's a lot of spiritual encounters here. Um, it feels like there should be more, but like when I think about these paranormal stories, they don't sound as intense when you're listening to someone tell
Mhm.
them. But I can guarantee if you were in that home and you had these things happen to you, like you would be thinking a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Like if I was sitting in my room in a hotel by myself and I felt like I was going to throw up and my TV turned on randomly and then I saw something moving across the shelf, I think I would shit my pants.
Oh yeah.
So like to us sitting here and like saying that people hear footsteps and saw an apparition, like it feels weird, but it doesn't feel like a
Yeah.
lot. But like if we were the ones experiencing it, we would not feel that way.
Yeah.
Like it would feel a lot more intense.
Mhm.
So like just saying, even when it sounds like there's not a lot of paranormal activity, you have to put yourself in the shoes of the people that are experiencing it.
Yeah.
They're going to be freaking out. You're not there, you're not experiencing it, so you're just like, "Oh,
Mhm.
that's some like stupid
Yeah.
activity."
But once you're there and you feel it, like
You're not going to be thinking that it's some silly little activity.
no,
You're going to be
no.
like, "I want to leave."
Exactly.
But basically, to conclude, I'm just going to touch on what the house has been throughout history
Mhm.
because I never said it.
Okay.
So after George Corwin's house was demolished, it took quite a century before it became Joshua Ward's private mansion during the 1700s. And then in 1789, during a New England tour, George Washington stayed at the house.
Oh.
So Washington requested this specific house, and the visit elevated the home's reputation and later influenced its commercial identity. So it literally transformed the house from a private mansion to like historical
Oh yeah.
because George Washington was like, I want to stay here.
He's like, I want to be spooky.
So after Ward's death in 1825, the house shifted from the private mansion to a public place. So it
Mhm.
transitioned to a tavern during the 19th century, and then later the Washington Hotel, named after the presidential visit, and that was in 1789 when the president
Mhm.
visited. Yeah. So it was quite a few years later that it was turned into the hotel. By the mid 1900s, the actual structure was deteriorating. The development pressures threatened its survival because, at this point, everything was getting
Oh yeah.
demolished or changed. Like,
Oh
not a
yeah.
lot of historical things survived.
Mhm.
So they actually had plans to demolish it. and replace it with a commercial, like construction. But the building was saved from modernization because in 1978, the Joshua Ward House was listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
Yeah.
Which now means you cannot demolish it. You cannot
cannot.
alter it. You can't demolish or alter it unless it is needed for the integrity of the house.
Well, it's still standing today.
Yeah, they did like major restoration on it
Oh, I'm sure.
in like the late 70s. But now it was like a decade ago, it was used as offices. But in 2015, it was converted into a boutique hotel known as the Merchant Hotel, and it functions as a luxury historic accommodation.
Yay!
So it doesn't feel like there's a lot of paranormal activity that goes on there.
No,
but
there is definitely some very specific things going on.
I would shit my pants if I was there.
Oh, honestly, yeah. But
that's it.
That's the tea. Yay, that was a good one. I like when we go into like one more.
You like when we go in? You like when we go into what?
Like when we talk about like witches and Salem and all of that. Like when we like really dive into history.
I like history.
History be fun. Well,
yesterday, I went on an hour-long tangent about the JFK assassination to Paul.
God. Oh my God. I can't imagine.
And I was like talking about like his childhood and like the military and stuff. I was like, I have like a big JFK. Like,
are you okay?
No, I'm like, I had like a whole phase in high school that I was like obsessed with learning everything about JFK.
I can tell.
When you mentioned it earlier, that's why I was like, JFK.
Oh, Corey. You're a little special.
JFK.
Oh my God.
That's my homie.
Oh my God. Anyway. Social media manager, would you like to do your spiel? However it's said.
So, our Instagram is Let's Spill the Tea Pod. Our Gmail is lstt.pod@gmail.com. I have to look up what the TikTok is really for the current timing.
Yes, like for now, we will obviously update when it is fixed, but obviously we're like a couple episodes ahead of like what's being released, and a TikTok almost just fell out of her mouth. So we will make some sort of post about it when it's like fixed and the name is officially changed.
Yeah, it's currently Let's Spill the Tea .0304.
For some reason.
That's the numbers it gave.
Don't ask us why.
But that's it currently.
There's
a link. Yeah, I was going to say there's a link tree on the Instagram that leads to the Spotify and the YouTube. I'm going to put the TikTok on there too.
Yeah, put the TikTok in the link tree and then the link tree in the TikTok bio.
Yes.
And then connect the Instagram to the TikTok. So much work to do.
I have things I need to do.
But yes, we are trying to outreach our social media a bit more to try to get more people to like hear about us and whatnot. But yeah, I guess we spilled that tea. And Paul is still asleep. Are we gonna sign off? She's doing grabby hand. She's hugging him. Corey, I guess, forgot that we have a sign off to do.
Kelly said she's doing grabby hands.
Yeah, you were doing grabby
like a toddler.
hands.
I do that all the time. I literally turn into a 3-year-old.
I do it too. I don't blame you. Anyway, we spilled that tea. Bye.
Draco Malfoy.
Oh God, not this shit again.
Why was Draco Malfoy Southern there?
I'm Draco Malfoy.
Okay.
Good. Oh, bye.
Bye.